All right, future space pioneers. You've done it. You're going to IAC. Milan's waiting. Your research is ready.
And we are here to make sure you absolutely crush it.
That's right. Think of this deep dive as your personal IAC survival guide.
Your pre-flight briefing, if you will.
We're talking deadlines, presentations, tech tips.
Everything you need to know to navigate the exciting chaos that is IAC.
Because let's be honest, sometimes those notification emails, a little overwhelming.
Just a tad. A whirlwind of dates, deadlines, and, what's that acronym again?
Exactly. So let's break it down, shall we? First things first.
Early June. Mark your calendars, folks, because this is crucial.
Early June. What's so special about early June?
This, my friend, is confirmation season. Time to tell the IAC powers that be that you're really coming, that your research is ready to be unleashed.
Think of it like RSVPing to the biggest space party of the year.
Exactly. Except the stakes are a little higher than forgetting to bring a dessert. This is your chance to shine on a global stage.
Oh, pressure, right.
None at all. But seriously, confirming your attendance does a few important things. First off, it lets the organizers know they can officially put you on the schedule.
Because who wants to be that person scrambling for a speaking slot at the last minute?
Not a good look. Secondly, it helps them finalize those all-important session schedules. You know, the ones we all obsessively check 1,000 times before the conference even starts.
Guilty as charged. But there's another reason early June is so important, right? Something about backup presenters.
Ah, yes. The understudies of the IAC world. You see, sometimes life throws a curveball, and a presenter might have to drop out unexpectedly. That's where our trusty backups come in, ready to step up and share their brilliance.
Talk about dedication. But they can't just magically appear at a moment's notice, can they?
Nope. They need a little heads up, which is why confirming your attendance early on is so crucial. It gives those backups time to polish their presentations, practice their elevator pitches.
You maybe squeeze in one last practice run in front of the mirror.
Exactly. And let's not forget the best part about registering early. Early bird discounts.
Music to my ears. Who doesn't love saving a little money? It's like a reward for being organized.
Precisely. But speaking of organization, there's one deadline you absolutely cannot miss.
Don't tell me. Is it the dreaded manuscript submission deadline?
You guessed it. September, my friend. That's when those research papers are due. And trust me, you don't want to be hitting that submit button at the 11th hour.
Been there, done that, never again. Those all-nighters are brutal.
They are. And the thing is, submitting your manuscript on time is about more than just avoiding a caffeine-fueled writing frenzy.
It's about showing respect for the reviewers, the organizers, and everyone else who works so hard to make IAC happen.
Well said. It's about being part of a community, and that means holding up your end of the bargain.
Okay, so we've covered early June and September. Anything else lurking in those notification emails we should know about?
Oh yes, one more thing, and it's a big one.
Hit me with it.
This year, IAC is instituting a strict no-show, no-paper policy.
Wait, seriously, so if your paper isn't submitted by the deadline?
You're out. No presenting in Milan, no sharing your research with the world.
Wow, they mean business.
They do. But hey, think of it this way. A little deadline pressure never hurt anyone, right?
True that. And besides, who needs the stress of a last-minute scramble when you can be sipping on a cappuccino in Milan, knowing your research is in the bag?
Exactly. So get organized, get writing, and get ready to share your brilliance with the world.
Okay, deadlines, check. Manuscripts, in progress. But now comes the really fun part. Actually presenting our research to the world.
It's showtime. And trust me, there's nothing quite like the energy of an IAC presentation hall.
It's electric. But let's be real, the thought of presenting to a room full of brilliant minds can be a tad intimidating.
A tad. Try terrifying. But here's the thing. Everyone gets nervous. It's totally normal.
Even seasoned IAC veterans.
Especially seasoned IAC veterans. The key is to channel those nerves into positive energy.
Easier said than done, right?
True, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. First things first. Preparation is key. Remember what we said about those manuscripts. Same goes for your presentations.
So no pulling an all-nighter the night before, frantically trying to cobble together some slides.
Definitely not recommended. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel when you step up to that podium.
It's like that feeling of knowing your lines backwards and forwards before opening night.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to actually crafting your presentation, think of it like telling a story.
A story about, like, rocket science and orbital mechanics?
Precisely. Even the most complex research can be brought to life through the power of storytelling.
So how do we do it? Where do we even begin?
Start by asking yourself this. Why should anyone care about my research? What's the hook? What's the one thing I want my audience to remember?
Because, let's face it, even the most groundbreaking research can fall flat if you don't give people a reason to care.
100%. You've got to grab their attention from the get-go. And the best way to do that is by tapping into their emotions.
Emotions in a scientific presentation.
Absolutely. Remember, you're not just presenting data, you're sharing your passion, your discoveries, your journey.
So it's about connecting with your audience on a human level.
Exactly. Make them feel something, make them laugh, make them think, make them want to learn more.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But what about the actual content of the presentation? Any tips for making sure our research really lands?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, keep it concise. Remember, people have short attention spans.
Especially at a conference where they're being bombarded with information from all sides.
Precisely. So ditch the jargon, lose the wall of text, and for goodness sake, don't even think about reading directly from your slides.
No death by PowerPoint, please.
Exactly. Think one idea, one slide. Use clear, concise language that everyone can understand.
And don't forget the visuals.
Ah, yes, visuals. Your secret weapon. A well-placed image, graph, or animation can work wonders.
It's like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Sometimes even more. But here's a pro tip. Don't just throw a bunch of visuals up there and hope for the best. Walk your audience through them.
Be their guide, their visual translator.
Exactly. Explain what they're seeing, why it matters, and how it connects back to your overall research story.
Storytelling and visuals, the dynamic duo of a killer presentation.
You got it. And speaking of killer presentations, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. Addressing limitations.
Wait, you mean actually talking about the things that didn't go perfectly according to plan?
Yep. And here's why. It shows that you're a thoughtful, thorough researcher who understands the nuances of your work.
So it's actually a good thing to acknowledge that our research isn't always perfect.
Absolutely. It builds trust with your audience and shows that you're not afraid to be transparent.
Transparency,
Yeah.
a key ingredient in the recipe for presentation success.
You got it. And here's another one. Passion. Let your enthusiasm for your research shine through.
Because at the end of the day, people connect with people, not robots.
Exactly. So relax, be yourself,
Yeah.
and let your passion be your guide.
And you know what they say? A little bit of passion can go a long way, especially when you're up there on that IAC stage.
It's contagious. But passion alone isn't always enough, right? We need to make sure we're delivering a message that resonates, that sticks with our audience long after they've left the presentation hall.
So how do we do that? How do we take all that amazing research, all those data points and equations, and turn them into something people will actually remember?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer, my friend, is storytelling.
Storytelling in a scientific presentation.
Absolutely. Because at its core, science is just another form of storytelling. It's about taking complex ideas and making them accessible, relatable, even exciting for those who might not be experts in the field.
Okay, I like where this is going. But how do we actually craft a compelling story around something as, well, technical as space exploration?
It's all about finding the human element, the thread that connects your research to the bigger picture. Start by asking yourself, why does this matter? What problem are you trying to solve? What's the ultimate goal?
Because if we can't answer those questions ourselves, how can we expect our audience to care?
Precisely. So you've got your story, your why. Now it's time to structure your presentation in a way that keeps your audience engaged from beginning to end.
Think of it like a 3-act play, right? You've got your setup, your rising action, your climax, and finally your resolution.
Exactly. You're taking your audience on a journey. You're building suspense, creating anticipation, and ultimately delivering a satisfying conclusion.
And let's not forget those visual aids.
Ah, yes. Visuals, the spice of any good presentation. Use them strategically to reinforce your key points, to bring your research to life.
Because, let's face it, sometimes even the most well-crafted words can't quite capture the awe-inspiring beauty of, say, a Martian sunset or a distant galaxy.
Exactly. A well-timed image, animation, or even a short video can make all the difference.
But here's a question. What about those unexpected moments? The ones we can't always plan for, like a tech malfunction or a sudden brain freeze during Q&A?
Those moments are inevitable, my friend. The key is to not let them derail you.
Right.
Roll with the punches, keep your sense of humor handy, and remember the audience is on your side.
They're not there to see you fail. They're there to be inspired, to learn something new, and hopefully to walk away feeling energized and excited about the future of space exploration.
Well said. And, speaking of the future, that's what IAC is all about, isn't it? It's about bringing together the brightest minds from around the globe to share ideas, to collaborate, and to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's about that incredible moment when you realize you're surrounded by thousands of people who share your passion, your drive, your unwavering belief in the power of space exploration to change the world.
It's electric,
Yeah.
and it's something you have to experience firsthand to truly understand.
Absolutely. So, to all our listeners out there who are gearing up for IAC, we say this: embrace the chaos, soak up every moment, and don't forget to have a little fun along the way.
Because you're not just attending a conference, you're becoming part of something much bigger than yourselves.
You're joining a global community of dreamers, innovators, and explorers who are shaping the future of humankind. No pressure.
Right. None at all. Just go out there and make us proud.
That's a wrap on this IAC deep dive. We'll see you in Milan.